Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. For the past few months, one of the most requested video for me to do is to show people my grow room. I guess that's because winter is around the corner, or winter is actually already here in many of the states, and maybe also because of the pandemic, people are starting to do a lot more gardening and indoor gardening. So today we are going to do a very special video to show you my grow room. And I mentioned it in the past before, I explained it a little bit, described it a little bit, but I didn't really show the grow room fully. So that's what we're doing today. And as I mentioned, people ask if I close my tent completely, and that depends. Right now it's still pretty warm. So in the evening, outside temperature is around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So in my garage it's still warm. So that is why I have the grow tent probably like 25% open. So again, I have two grow tents. These are 4x4 by 6. So they're 6 feet high, they're 4 across and 4 feet deep. So this one here, I think people have seen before, that's by Spider Farmer. And this one here is just the one that I purchased off of Amazon. So let's go inside and I will show you what I'm working on. Winter is a very exciting time for me because I do so many different projects and tests and experiments and all that, and then overwintering. So one tent is dedicated to overwintering plants and grow some things that I can use. And the other tent is for testing and experimenting. So let's go into the first tent where I actually grow some stuff that I can use and also overwinter. So here we go. Okay, here is my first grow tent, and this is where I'm growing a bunch of things to use, and also I'm overwintering things. And I am using the Spectra LED, the Phaser X660, and this thing is a mammoth of a grow light. It is amazing and it is also ridiculous. Is it too much for this tent? Yes, probably, but that's what I have. So we're using this to do so many things. I mean, it is an amazing light. It's like having the sun inside your grow tent because it covers the entire tent corner to corner. So 4x4, it fits it with no extra space. So anywhere you put the plant, they will get light. So that is the monster light that I have going on above. So let me show you what's going on. I have some plants that these are crosses that I'm working with. I'm growing it out. And I'm propagating right here just from branches that I cut from plants outside. So during the winter, before I chop my plants down, I take a few of these branches and I propagate them. And I have a video to show you guys how to do that, so it should be coming up very soon, and it will provide all the details so you guys can follow. I'm also propagating tomatoes. These are gonna be in my upcoming test. And then I'm growing vegetables here for fun, my fun tobacco plants. And these are other vegetables. These are callaloo. I'm testing germination. And those are overwintering plants right there. So I took this from outside, and a few days later, look at all those leaves. So I'm overwintering a bunch of plants because the season wasn't great for my super hot. I started them too late, and then they went through all kinds of problem. So I decided that I will keep some of them for next season because look how big they are. So by the time next season comes around, these guys are gonna go outside and they will produce so fast, and they're gonna be so much bigger than my new plants. So overwintering is a great thing to do if you have space. And then here I'm growing lettuce to use, and then I'm testing here a little bit also with arugula. Wow, these things grow amazing, guys. Arugula grows ridiculously in hydroponic. This is around 25 days. So they set it and forget it. Just put it in there and then wait 25 days and you can harvest and just cut and then they'll just keep growing, and you will be using that for a while. And I'm messing around with melons, but I'm gonna get rid of those very soon. They're not, they don't do too well in the cool temperature. So I may do some other things, so we'll see. But anyway, that is my first grow tent. I still have a bunch of other things that I need to put in here. And I'm gonna switch things around. Once that project is over, I may do some other plants that I can use throughout the winter. I love growing fresh vegetables to use. So that ginormous system right there, it just sits there and the plants just grow, and I just harvest and harvest and harvest until the water is low, because I can't pull that thing out once it's there. It's so much water in there, so I have to wait until the plant drink all of the water, and then I replace it. So there it is. That is the first grow tent with my Spectra LED X660. So here is the next grow tent. And this is actually a really nice one. I love this grow tent. I got this from Spider Farmer, and I did a video with the grow light and the tent and all that stuff. So after that, I've been using it since then, and it is an awesome setup. So let me show you. Okay, here we are. So you have already seen this project that I did in my previous video. That is DWC versus Cracky. And I think I released a video around maybe less than 10 days ago, and I've been harvesting lettuce like crazy, and they keep growing back. You see this? Those are all the leaves that I have taken off. I mean, I cannot eat all of this. They just keep growing and keep growing, and every time I pick leaves, they keep putting more leaves back, and so it didn't look like I did anything to the plants. So I'm having lettuce like for weeks and weeks and weeks after the project was over. So I'm also doing propagation. These are figs. So you guys, I mean, there's a lot of people that love figs. So figs are one of the easiest tree type of plants that you can propagate in so many ways. You can do it in soil, you can do it in water, and let me show you. The water method is so easy, guys. And here, this is actually a huge trunk off of a fig tree that I cut from my parents' house, and I placed it in water. Look at that. You see this? You see there's already one root right there. And all of those other ones here are roots that will come out soon. So they usually calloused up like that, and then roots will form, and then they will grow. And usually what I do is I'm not going to plant this in the winter time because it's too cold. So I just leave them in there, just like that, and over winter, and roots will form all over the place, and occasionally I will give them a little bit of hydro nutrients, and then it will boost the root development. And then when the temperature is warm again, I take this outside and I put it in a bucket, and I keep doing that for my parents so that they can have more fig trees. You see, there's already bulbs forming. So this is a pretty big branch, and it's very easy to propagate. And as soon as you transplant this outside when it gets warm, in a few weeks after that, it's going to put out like leaves, and then it will fruit very, very fast. And then I'm also propagating peppers again. Just do a cutting like this. Peppers take a lot longer, sometimes 20 days, sometimes 30 days, sometimes 40 days. But I don't really care because I'm not growing them right now. And even if they root it, I'm going to leave them in the cup like that until next season. So, and then here, I'm taking cuttings from my Cuban oregano, and I'm doing the exact same thing. You see that there's already root. These things root like in 7 days. And I'm not going to do anything to that. I'm just going to leave it there, change the water out every once in a while, and then next year I take those outside and grow in the raised bed. So that is how I usually propagate these guys. These guys are 3 years old now. So I will be doing a bunch of other projects in this tent. Maybe tomatoes, maybe other vegetable, maybe soil versus hydroponic test and all that stuff. And here is my Spider Farmer SF4000. Guys, this is an amazing light. If you have not seen my video or my test that I've done, it is awesome. So that's what I've been using for all of my experiments. And I've had this light for a while, and I'm still using it. And of course, as I mentioned in my previous video, for those that have missed it, I highly recommend having a fan blow down onto the unit, because it would cool the unit a lot. So without the fan, it gets very, very hot. So without it, you can't even touch it. And with the fan on, you see, I can hold the driver really tight, place my hand on here, and it will be just fine. And also with the air circulating around, it also helps with you know, just having clean air in your tent. So there it is, guys. That is my 4x4 tent that I'm using for tests, and those are the 2 grow rooms that I have right now. I do have a few AeroGardens that I'm using as well, and those things are awesome. And I have a few really cool projects that I'm working on with those, so I will show you guys that in the future. And for those that have been asking about the Franken pepper tree, yes, that is coming back. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video of my grow tents. That's what I have. And man, this is what I do in the wintertime. I love coming out here in the evening. That's when it's on, because sometimes in the evening it gets really cold. So with the lights on, it helps produce some heat for the plant. And also in the summer, I do it in the evening, because the summer my garage gets really hot. So in the evening, it helps cool everything down, and that's when I turn on all of the unit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below, and thank you so much for watching.